All right, okay, folks. In my opinion, Donald Trump is a piece of crap, racist asshole who doesn't deserve to breathe the air that he's using. He had the audacity to attack John Lewis personally because Mr. Lewis had the opinion that Mr. Trump was not and is not a legitimate president, and Mr. Lewis has stated that he will not be attending the inauguration. This particular clip comes from Meet the Press, which is airing tomorrow, which I will, without a doubt, make it my business to watch to get the full information and viewpoint that Mr. Lewis discussed. So I'm going to play this particular clip that is publicly available. Then I'm going to play Donald Trump's response, or show you his response, and then I'm going to give you some additional facts. Here we go.
You have forged relationships with many presidents. Do you plan on trying to forge a relationship with Donald Trump?
You know, I believe in forgiveness. I believe in trying to work with people. It's a little bit hard. It's going to be very difficult. I don't see the president-elect as a legitimate president.
You do not consider him a legitimate president. Why is that?
I think the Russians participated in having this man get elected, and they helped destroy the candidacy of Hillary Clinton. I don't plan to attend the inauguration. It will be the first one that I've missed since I've been in the Congress. You cannot be at home with something that you feel that is wrong.
It's going to send a big message to a lot of people in this country that you don't believe he's a legitimate president.
I think there was a conspiracy on the part of the Russians and others to help him get elected. That's not right. That's not fair. That's not the open democratic process.
All right, so that's Mr. Lewis's opinion, and obviously he has a right to that opinion, and there is some basis or foundation for that opinion. Now I'm going to play for you or show you Mr. Trump's response. Now, here's Donald Trump's response, and let me preface by saying that all of his people told him to leave this one alone. Okay, it's been reported that all of his people told him just to let this thing go away. But Donald Trump, being the thin-skinned asshole that he is, with no backbone whatsoever, he cannot let anything go without a response if it calls into question his character and especially the legitimacy of his presidency. So as you can see here, Mr. Trump tweeted out, Congressman John Lewis should spend more time on fixing and helping his district, which is in horrible shape and falling apart, not to mention crime infested, rather than falsely complaining about the election results. All talk, no action or results. Sad. That's a bunch of bullshit, okay? Now, it is true that there is a crime problem in the district that John Lewis was elected from. Not even going to question that. But I'm going to give you some information exactly on what's going on in John Lewis's district. Hold on. Okay. If Donald Trump believes Georgia's 5th congressional district is falling apart, then he basically believes that Atlanta is falling apart, because that's John Lewis's congressional district. And for any of you who don't know, Atlanta is absolutely a growing city. The 5th Congressional District includes downtown Atlanta and much of central Fulton and DeKalb counties and the northern third of Clayton County. Or to put it in the language that Atlanteans best understand, the 5th Congressional District covers the majority of the land inside the perimeter, as well as some of the suburban communities to the south and to the west. It includes Buckhead and Bankhead, the Ritz-Carlton, and the town of Lenox Square, and Lakewood Heights, and a lot of places in between. There's a picture of the map. Here's a quick data snapshot of Representative Lewis's district. Almost 750,000 people live there, according to the most recent estimates from the Census Bureau. The population is about 58% African American, about 1/3 white, and about 5% Asian. The median household income is about $48,000, slightly higher than Georgia's median, but below the national median of $54,000. About 1 in 6 families in the district lived in poverty in the previous year. The unemployment rate in the district was about 8.2% when the Census Bureau released its estimates last year for the American Community Survey 2015 one-year measurement. The same data set estimated the national unemployment rate of 6.3% and the Georgia state rate at 7.1%. The national unemployment rate as of December, published by the Federal Bureau of Labor Statistics, was 4.7. So the unemployment rate in Atlanta is obviously higher than the national average, and his particular district is higher than the state average, period. Nearly 9 out of 10 residents of the 5th District were high school graduates or had education beyond high school, and about 4 out of 10 residents had at least a bachelor's degree, according to census estimates. The largest single chunk of employed residents in Lewis's district, about half of the civilian workforce, worked in the field grouped by the census as management, business, science, and art occupations. The district, including Atlanta's downtown and main business district, and includes the headquarters of the Coca-Cola Company in Midtown and Delta Airlines near Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. It also covers the campuses of Georgia Tech and Emory University, as well as the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and many of the city's major cultural and art institutions. The largest single sector employing people in the 5th District is construction, approximately 12%, followed by management and remediation services, 11.9%, and management of companies and enterprises, 11.8%. In his tweets about Lewis, Trump also hit on a continuing issue for 5th District residents. Atlanta's crime problems pegged the 5th District as crime-infested. Atlanta landed at number 14 in the nation for its rate of violent crime when the Federal Bureau of Investigation released statistics last year that applied to 2015. While overall crime in the city has been down, according to statistics cited by the Atlanta Police Department, Mayor Kasim Reed spoke last summer of a spike in the number of homicides and announced the creation of a gun violence task force. But the rise in homicides in Atlanta mirrors a national trend in most major cities across the country, and a New York Times analysis last year showed major jumps in murder rates in 25 of America's 100 biggest cities. Atlanta was not one of the 25. The most recent violent crime rate for Atlanta and more than 24 of its largest surrounding counties, according to the FBI, was 401 per 100,000 residents. That puts Atlanta at a similar rate to that of Clarksville, Tennessee, which came in at 405. That's higher than the rate of Dallas-Fort Worth, but lower than Kansas City, Columbia, South Carolina, and Columbia, Georgia. All right, just so that you know, since they referenced Clarksville, Tennessee as a rate that had a crime rate similar to Atlanta, guess whose district Clarksville, Tennessee is? You won't know, so just let me tell you. That's the district that elected Marsha Blackburn, a big-time Trump supporter. So if Mr. Trump has an issue with the crime rate in Atlanta, obviously he must also have an issue with the crime rate in Clarksville, Tennessee. So I'd love to see some tweets about that. Donald Trump has accomplished nothing for this country. John Lewis has shed blood, marched, legislated, and spoken out against the wrongs of this country, but has also done a lot for the advancement of the people within this country. For Trump not to attack Mr. Lewis's opinion, but for him to personally attack John Lewis, makes Donald Trump a piece of shit, racist asshole that doesn't deserve to breathe the air that is free. Hopefully, Mr. Trump will get impeached within the first month of his presidency for all of the conflict of interest issues that he still has not resolved. And it's my opinion that this may have been the Republican plan all along for Mr. Trump to be elected, then impeached, so that they can get their guy, Mike Pence, into the position of President of the United States, because Mr. Pence falls in line with, if not most, all of the ideas of the mainstream Republicans. Donald Trump, hopefully you will meet the same fate as some of our previous presidents at the hands of one of your own supporters.